Welcome back to another episode of Low Range. We're heading up to Cape York, one of the last wilderness areas left on the planet. I'm still getting used to this four-wheel driving caper, but the fellas reckon I'm ready to tackle the most difficult track on the Cape, the old coach road. Not only is it the hardest off-roading I've ever done, they get me caught in a bushfire. Tune in to see whether we make it through unscathed, and come along for the laughs and all the awesome stuff too. Living in this technological modern age, it's easy to feel as though we are the centre of existence, that the world would stop spinning if us humans weren't around to tell it which way to spin. Stepping into a cave system that is hundreds of millions of years old put a lot of things into perspective. We are here for but a blink of an eye.
It was awesome to just be down there and talk about stuff that is ageless and will remain ageless.
I didn't know what to expect. I was thinking it would just be a cave, you know, just sort of a hole through rocks. But the infrastructure and the spectacles of all the stalactites and stalagmites when the lights came on was just amazing.
To get down in there, it's very special, because if you think about, like, it's 1 to 2 centimetres, it grows over 100 years. It's a sight to be seen.
Do you know how old these caves are?
Well, when it was all a coral sea, a warm shallow coral sea, in this area, that's going back 400 million years ago.
Oh, that long? Not that long.
Not really that long ago.
What gets me though is these steps. So you'd bring everything in by hand?
By hand, yeah. And any cementing or grouting that we do in here, we carry the bags in by hand, mix them by shovel and
Inside?
Yeah, bucket. Carry water in too.
I was blown away. I felt like I was in the dinosaur age or something. I was in a different world. It was so good. Brittany did such a good job showing us around. She was very well educated in the area and told us, answered all of our questions that we threw at her, and there was a lot.
Cairns in Queensland is the starting point for most Cape York trips. Instead of heading due north though, we have headed west to get to Maytown and the start of the old coach road. We're aiming to do the whole 75 k's to Laura.
I like Chillago. It's one of those little places, slow pace, just general old-fashioned fun.
It's remote, but it's not remote. It's only a couple of hours from Cairns. It's got a lot of attractions. It's got the caves, it's got the butterflies, it's got flowing creeks. Absolutely beautiful spot.
On their own, butterflies are a majestic insect. In a group, they just take your breath away. The common crow butterfly can afford to fly slowly and smoothly, as it's not attractive to many predators. It emits a strong scent that helps identify it is inedible and produces toxins strong enough to make the bird vomit. Very clever.
Well, boys, how good were those caves? I reckon the best bit was the fact that it was air conditioned.
It was brilliant inside. I just love that sort of thing, and it's just a timeless space in there.
It's pretty amazing when those lights come on and just lit up that chandelier. It just blew me away how how pretty it was.
Hey fellas, just up here on the right-hand side, this old Tom Pryor. I've read heaps about him. I've seen him on TV before. He's got an old Ford museum.
A Ford museum.
Look, I'd heard about this Tom Pryor Ford Museum for many years, knowing it was in Chilligate, but it was great to see a sign to say, here it is. It was mind-blowing. It's pretty cool when you go in there and the treasures that are in there.
What is it about these old cars that we think, you know, oh, like my new fandangle beast, but you look at these old cars around you and it's that memory.
Yeah, it is. I love technology, I love the new stuff, but this is like hand-built, sprayed by a guy instead of a machine. Everything was just put together by man, you know?
There's not many of them left. It's all history. I love cars. I love rusty stuff too. Yeah, all for it. And then when we got there, it wasn't so much rusty stuff, it was all immaculate condition. There was a 351 Phase 2 GT Subaru car there and a fan-forced bubble. This car was in immaculate condition, showroom condition. There's not many of these left.
It's easy to see that whoever's behind this collection is a die-hard fan and probably a little bit crazy.
It was unfortunate that Tom wasn't around. He was taking a very, very rare holiday for himself, but luckily enough, Lynn, his daughter, was there. She was a lovely woman, but very informative as well, and couldn't speak highly enough about her father. How long has he been here and restoring and keeping old Fords?
All his life. This is what he's grown up with. You know, he's been Ford, I think the day he was born.
Yeah.
His father, his grandfather, you know. I think the love of Fords and just anything old and these are all of the cars basically cars he's had. He drives till to this day, and this has just been his hobby. Now it's probably his full-time thing, but he actually is the BP agent, so he used to cart fuel to the Gulf, all the stations, cart cattle. That's what he sort of used to do.
Yeah, I noticed on a few of the trucks it's got Tom Pryor cartage.
Yeah.
And the phone number 8.
8, yes. That was the phone number.
That was the phone number.
Yes.
Pick up the phone and go 8.
Yes.
Wow. Just look at the curves, all the bonnets and the emblems on the bonnets and the chrome bumpers, and it's just like, yeah. It's a lot of style. It's a lot of style. You cannot help be attracted
To workmanship.
Wow. There you go. Model A.
28A. Oh my Lord.
Look, it's priceless to Tom, but to the rest of Australia, the Ford fanatics, absolute goldmine.
We're heading north now, and it's incredible how quickly the landscape changes. We've all been to Cape York before, but considering the Cape is about the size of Victoria, there's plenty of it we haven't explored yet. And the Old Coast Road is known as the most difficult track up here. I don't know how I feel about that yet.
You know, we had our little conference this morning, and well, Ernie and I decided you're always taking it up the rear, so we'll sort of let you get out in front and you're pretty good on the dirt track.
Yeah, I'll be the guide. I'll be the one in control of getting us lost on this trip. How does that sound? Yeah, well, even if the boys knew that I knew where I was going, they're still going to say, "You sure you know where you're going, Kenno?" You know, even if they are putting trust in you, they won't let you know. They're still going to try and have a gag with you. But I knew where I was going all the time.
Never doubted you for a second, little fella.
Sign N500. I wonder what N stands for.
I wouldn't have a clue because I'm trying to think of a town starting with N.
No. See, now this way, this is Blackfella country, and N stands for the N.
Oh, silent E and D.
So paint.
Oh, boys, have a look at the size of the bull on the left here. I reckon he'd make a bit of a clanging noise when he's walking through the scrub.
He's like a Brahmin or a drum master, aren't they?
Oh, and all his wives are up here on the left as well. All his maidens. I think spent a bit too much time in the sun. They're all sun bleached.
Doing all right for himself, that's all I know. Good man, champion. Peace out. The terrain changed when we left Chillago. It's sort of a bit rainforest. It's still dry, but it's quite dense, and then the things got quite arid. Very dry.
I can't understand Kenno. A cricket lands on him and he'll shit himself. And here he is up the front. No, I'll show you this place. I want to take you to this place. I want to take you to this place. And then, you know, it was sounding like, oh, that sounds pretty good. And then he turns around and tells us about a murder.
We've got to go through a station to get to Maytown. And there's a little bit of a story about this station.
What's the story?
Well, the previous owners of the station were never really too keen on people passing through their property. But one stage they took it a bit too far and they actually got charged with murdering a prospector, and the couple got put in jail.
This one that we're about to go through?
Yeah, mate, the one we're about to go through.
Well, if you encounter anything up front, please use your radio, because I'm up the back, I can do a quick retreat.
Ernie, see what happens when we let him lead? Leads us to trouble all the time.
The body of Bruce Schul has never been found, and despite Stephen and Diane Struber both receiving life sentences, they refuse to tell the police where it is. Bruce had been gold prospecting on the property with 3 other people in 2012 when he was shot down and killed by the couple. The Strubers were never welcoming to people driving through the station, despite it being a gazetted road, and had put up illegal gates in the past. They were well known to being hostile, and council workers often had to drive through with a police escort. The family of Bruce Schul has vowed to continue looking for his body.
Lo and behold, we get lost. We can't find the turn-off road. And then suddenly, on the radio comes his voice. The turn-off you're looking for, boys, it's 4 k's up the road. Well, what do? We go further up to 4 kilometres and turn. Is it going to be the road to get us to where we need to get, or go to the road where he wants us to be? Well, it was the first one, is it? He pointed us in the right direction.
Look, yeah, ye have little faith. Here's the turn off right here. It's not quite where it's supposed to be, but I assume that it is the right turn off because it does have a sign saying Maytown.
Yeah, the old map's about 5 k's, 6 k's off, isn't it?
Anyway, still got there in the end. It was touch and go there.
Can we please have a look at the Laura River? I mean, stop, get out and have a look.
That could be a good place to pull up for lunch.
Beautiful lunch spot. The temperature dropped a couple of degrees when we pulled in there.
The hokey pokey and you turn around.
A lot of life down there. The big bulls decided to come down and have a drink while we were having a drink. It was, yeah, a beautiful spot.
It ain't no big deal. It ain't no big deal. When I'm behind the wheel, I'm a hunk of steel. It ain't no big deal. It ain't no big deal.
We're in the Cape, boys, but this is a bit different sort of ride, isn't it? It's sort of hilly, and there's lots of rivers and estuaries sort of running through here, and the landscape's changing all the time with the trees. It's good to have a bit of different road to drive on.
It is. It's totally different to the Cape York that I'm used to, that's for sure.
So what are you used to then?
Well, when you go along the development road and stuff like that, there's not a lot of hills, and it's not overly windy. Like this is nice and windy, and there's rocky outcrops, and there's big hills. It's a lot different. I think that was because we were sort of riding the bank of the river, and it's sort of worn away the sides of the hills, so we're going up and down the ridges that the river actually runs through.
Can't be here much longer. Needs to get gone. It ain't no big deal.
Yeah, this will be Palmer River, I think. So, beautiful camp spot. It's probably time to pull up for the day, I think, boys, too. There'll be some good camping along here.
But not before we scoped out the sights on the other side.
Rocky and rolly through here, guys.
Sure is.
It's nice though, isn't it?
This is where the adventure sort of starts, isn't it? Everything else up to here, look, I wouldn't advise bringing a two-wheel drive vehicle, but definitely through this bit now, she's four-wheel drive only.
Yeah, mate, she's a lot of river sand here, and it's getting soft. She's a wide river. I'd like to see it in full flow in the wet season.
Oh yeah, I bet there's have a look up in those trees as we're coming across here. It's been quite a few metres up. Yeah, get a bit soft and sandy here, Ernie. Might want to select your centre diff, mate.
Okie doke, mate.
Oh, beautiful camp spot's an understatement. Such a great camp spot.
That night was a lot of fun. There was down by the river for the ambience of birds and wildlife. Nice fire. Got the old six string out, had a couple of sings. Had a good yarn, made a bit of noise.
The serenity of morning makes it impossible to imagine the chaos that would have played out here in the gold rush days of the past.
Maytown again is one of those bustling gold fields where thousands of people came to.
This monument and time capsule has been erected in the memory of the pioneers and their families. Wow.
1873 to 1945.
So they must have left here in 1945.
Well, that's the main street just down there.
Yeah, right. Apparently they had 12 hotels on the main street.
Gold will do that to you.
Yeah,
Gold and golden fluid.
Gold makes you
10
thirsty.
Chinese shops.
Yeah, so you do like a pub crawl. You go hotel, Chinese, hotel, Chinese, hotel, Chinese, and then apparently there was a lemonade factory as well. So at the end, before you go home to the missus,
Have a lemonade.
a lemonade.
Or a shandy.
Or a shit. That little street would have been the hub, would have been like the wild, wild west. They would have been out there shooting in the street or dukes up, doing these ones, you know, out the front of the pub.
It was the biggest town in North Queensland, I believe. It was where it all started, the gold rush. Someone had found a big nugget, and sort of the Chinese and the Europeans all came in, and it was only as late as the 1940s that people stopped living there. I was actually quite surprised that there's not much there to see. I was expecting to see old buildings or something a little more, but I get over the years, as it's becoming accessible to more campers and four-wheel drivers, that anything that was there, this just gets taken.
Walking down the main street, thanks to some blokes who had restored the sidewalks and put up plaques as to where things used to be. Very interesting to give people a chance now to have an insight to what would have been a bustling town.
But driving down the main street, what was at the end was the pure gold for us. This was the old coach road, 76 kilometres of pure gold, low range. Hey Kenno, mate, hate to do this to you. You've done a fantastic job of getting us to Maytown that back way, mate. Fantastic drive. But mate, I'm going to steal the lead, eh? I love this low range stuff, and I think we whack Ernie in the middle, mate, and just guide him through. Instantly, I get excited. I took the lead.
Are we in low range now?
Just about to select it before this soft sand, I think.
Well, too late now.
First bit of low ranging, boys. This is, I did this many years ago, and this is a fun track. You're going to love this old coach road through to Laura.
I just hit a rock.
Oh, I love it. It's jumpy, bumpy stuff already.
I've perched myself up on a rock straight away.
You right there, little fella?
Another bush jack straight under the side of the side step. I couldn't see it over the bonnet until I heard it. First I knew about it, I was stuck on it.
Couldn't, it's a rock.
But it wasn't a big deal. Just put some lockers in, reversed out on a different angle, and off we went. It wasn't major.
Further. No. We've worked out what the problem is.
What?
You need a booster seat.
Honestly,
to see over the bonnet.
I think that is the problem. I didn't see the rock.
Little fellow thing.
All I heard,
Can we work out who sponsors a baby seat, a booster seat for you? Just to...
Baby car. Safe and sound. Well, as soon as you start the old coach road, you select low range, and for me, I didn't get out of low range for the whole trip. And you know, I was thinking about Ernie because he'd done a little bits and pieces of low ranging in the past, and he did everything we tell him. He has a lot of trust in what we tell him, and we guide him through, and it was sort of like a safety blanket for him. But I did feel for him knowing that we had many, many kilometres, and this was only the start. This was just a taste, and I knew there was bigger challenges coming.
We knew there were bigger challenges coming up when it came to four-wheel driving, but none of us would have predicted what was about to happen next.
Check out 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, boys. Bushfire out there. Let's hope that doesn't pose a problem. Matt says we're sort of heading to the east of it, but she could be moving.
Yeah, it's one of the hazards of being out here, I suppose, in this sort of area. The road's pretty rough and driving slow, so hopefully it's nowhere near our track.
Yeah, I saw sort of in the distance yesterday coming into Maytown, but we're getting closer and closer to it.
Did I miss something?
No, mate, you chose not to join into it, which is abnormal for you. We normally can't shut you up.
Oh. Look, did you ask me a question?
No, mate, we're just talking about the bushfire.
Oh, is there a fire?
Well, first gear, low range. Just let her walk down. There's not too many lines here, but it's just a matter of rock and roll.
I felt that this was going to really test me. Pushing my little blue truck. I mean, the blue truck is like a town car. It's jacked up a little bit.
Ernie seems to start every trip off being a bit unsure about what's ahead. Give him some time and he'll be loving it.
Straight away, this voice will come over the two-way. Are you right, Ern? You got to pick a line? And the big fella has got that calming attitude about him.
Nice work, Ern. Now, you're pretty good at this low-range stuff.
Oh, are we going, are we?
This slow-going stuff, Kenno.
Sorry guys, I was a little bit distracted.
Been like that this morning.
I probably should start paying a bit more attention. This track has just started and it's already a bit hairy.
Going along, the smoke's still billowing up, and we're getting closer and closer and closer until we're basically in it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get out of here pretty quick, guys. This fire is coming up this ridge, eh?
Firing up that hill very quickly, isn't it?
It is. It's burnt out on the left-hand side, which is good. Oh yeah, we don't want to be, oh, it's getting worse further up.
The wind was coming up the hill, fanning it. Mate, we have to get through quick. Well, there's no way to turn around.
Bushfire is not something you want to get caught in. Everybody knows that. But we were put in the situation where we had to make a choice and we had to make it quick. Do we try and turn around on a 40-degree angle? Do we try and reverse down? Or do we go forward? We chose to go forward.
Holy girly, yeah. She's coming up that hill.
Whoa, look at that, eh?
Big fella is now, he's going to get past it, but geez, we're going to cop it if you don't get through this bit in a hurry.
Yeah, it's only a couple of metres to my right-hand side. Right on the track here, guys. Yeah, get moving. The breeze is coming through. Yeah, it's coming across the track just behind me, guys.
I don't recommend this. This is making me a little bit anxious. Especially me being in a petrol car. They like to go boom, boom.
Oh, how's this for a fire shot, bro?
Yes, this is crazy. Wowza. We only just got through there. That fire is right on the edge of the track now, guys.
Well, there's nothing like getting way too close to an uncontrolled bushfire to get your heart started.
Well, that escalated quickly, boys.
Just as we got to that ridge, turned around the left where the fire was, a big gust of wind came up and started blowing it, fanning it.
I could feel the heat through my window. I was thinking petrol car wasn't a good option at that point.
Oh, crikey, yeah. You didn't went off with a bang.
A bit further down the track, it's easy to see where the fire has already come through. I'm pretty glad to be heading away from it. Time to see what else the track has to throw at us.
Look in the Bible. Some folks look to the past. Other folks try to find themselves in the bottom of a whiskey glass. Some folks go to college. Other folks travel the globe. But my heart beats to the sound of a chopper hill for leather on gasoline road. Gasoline road.
Straight after lunch, the track just got gnarly. It was unreal. There was big step-ups, big holes, bull dust.
It gets gnarly again up here, boys. Bit of hill climb, boulders and stuff.
Ernie, this is a good one. How is it, Gleno? She's plenty of traction.
Oh, spinnies there. Very bouldery, mate, and just nice, easy, slow going to pick your line where you keep all your wheels on the ground.
I didn't particularly sense any nerves with Ernie. I did notice that he did go a bit more quiet. I think maybe that's because he needed to keep two hands on the steering wheel and didn't have the opportunity to actually pick the radio up.
Go the 100, look at it go. That thing is a weapon.
All right, I'm going to attack this. You might notice that I have to attack some of these obstacles a bit faster than the other guys. There's a lot of different characteristics involved in our vehicles. Glenn's being a diesel, so he's got a lot more torque down low, so he can just crawl. He's got the auto in, and mine being a petrol, my torque point is around 2,500 RPM, where you'll find Gleno would be crawling up some of those things at 1,000.
Beats to the sound of a chopper hill for leather on gasoline road. Gasoline.
Hey Ern, a bit of a steep section, mate. I'll go down first, make sure you're okay, and if I need a guide, I'll give you a call, eh?
Sounds good to me, mate.
I've let all of the air out of my airbags, so my car will flex again.
I suppose years of forward driving, I try and keep the wheels, particularly the front wheels, on level ground. If it's on angles, I try and hit them at the same time to let the rear suspension do all the work and get all the drive through the rear wheels. Should look good from the back.
I saw that bump.
I'm down the bar.
Bit of rock crawling.
Oh, crikey, Blake. I don't know if I can do that one.
You'll be right, Ernie. Just take the same line as Gleno. I'll give you advice from the back here.
Here I come.
I'm constantly calling through to Ernie, letting him know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Yeah, I swung left and then went through the right a bit.
Then bring it back and head that one straight on.
This one's straight on. Mate, there's a V-dub at the bottom of that.
He really surprised me on how much he listens, and you can just watch him just navigate his way through there. He's got no lockers in that 100 series. He had everything against him. I didn't tell him that. You don't tell him that stuff. All you do is you build the confidence into him, tell him you can do it, just follow this line, keep your front wheels level wherever you can. He nailed it.
Is that a bit of a pucker moment there, Ernie?
I'm ready to get down the bottom here and get the wet wipes out, mate.
All right, my turn. Yep, my turn to pucker up. Nah, I know the Hilux has me covered.
Mum had a little kiss, did it?
Little one.
Yeah, this track threw it all at us. There was ups and downs and boulders and bull dust, and the 79 handled it beautifully. I'm glad I got this lighter back on the back, because if I had that heavy one, there would have been times. Definitely, I would not have been able to do it with my old canopy. There's nothing like doing, say, 5 kilometres an hour, if that, and you're just crawling over things. You can just feel the vehicle working and doing what it's supposed to do, and knowing that your wheels are on the ground and just driving and just chewing through the dirt and finding traction.
Glenn couldn't hide his passion for all things mechanical if he tried. And look at Ernie go. As predicted, he's getting more comfortable as we go along.
This is another gnarly one, guys. This has got like lying on your side material.
Oh, have a sleep on your side material.
Yes, we're going to be taking this one very easily.
There was a new word invented that with all the flexing and twisting and turning, the word is flexibation.
Oh, here we go.
Whoa, one leg off. Woo-hoo-hoo.
About to come down. Here she comes. Righto.
Are you crazy? That wheel was in the air for a while. It was like the Tatar lizard of the far north. Ta-da, ta-da-da.
Ah, yes. I always thought the 79 had an uncanny resemblance to a lizard.
The old muscles were coming out then in the big truck. And it was awesome to watch.
That was actually a lot of fun. But it's one of those ones where you pucker up.
Don't talk to me, don't talk to me. Watching that, thinking, is my car doing that? That was awesome, I like that. And apparently, it was.
All good, Ernie?
Feels good, scared shitless though.
Yeah, I know.
getting through it myself. And yeah, you were up there. Was I really doing the old ta-da lizard as well?
Okay, rear locker. Who put these big holes here? And this is a move I like to call the tartar. Just a nice little controlled mono.
The big thing for us is we carry a lot of gear. We're on the tracks for a couple of weeks at a time, so we've got a lot of weight. Water, fuel, food, camera equipment, absolutely everything. So we've got to take care of our gear. So there's no use bashing through this stuff and looking like a hero, chucking wheels up in the air to look good. No, we're lifting wheels because it's steep and it's hard and we've got a lot of weight. We've got to take care of these vehicles because once we get through these tracks, we've got thousands of kilometres to get home.
That's if Ernie ever goes home. I think he's surprised at how much he's loving this.
For Ernie to get to that point, I think a big part of it is he's a good observer. A lot of it is him watching what we're doing, where we're placing wheels and how we're attacking obstacles, and he's just taking it all in.
Previous to this season, he'd done no off-roading whatsoever. He didn't know how to put it into low range. And here he is doing 76 kilometres of low range and driving it, and that car did not destroy anything. Silky smooth. Absolute legend.
According to the GPS, we're not too far from where we're hoping to camp for the night.
We got in contact with a young fella, Johnny, from Jarramani Rock Art, and he gave us permission to go up and stay at his camp on his traditional owned land. We weren't sure what to expect. Johnny was meeting us there the next day. My goodness, that gorge is amazing.
It is beautiful, though, isn't it? Nice rest at the end of a beautiful day. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure driving with you blokes. You make it just all easy. It was awesome just to get there and see the sun late in the day hit those ranges on the other side of the gorge. But to actually reminisce the day, total enjoyment to just get through that, to get out the other end and find, through young Johnny, this wonderful lookout.
That old coach road.
Low range all the way.
Threw it all at us.
Fire.
That fire.
Active fire.
That fire scared the bejeebus out of me.
Anybody would think that was the biggest bushfire you ever did see. It was only grass fire. About a foot of grass. Stubble.
It was still scary.
Something else that's scary is Kenno's cooking.
Alrighty. Time for dinner, I reckon, lads.
Yep. Hungry.
We are having balls of York.
What?
Balls of
Please
York.
explain.
Well, they're like meatballs, but special, really special meatballs.
Where's the York bit?
Well, we're in Cape York.
Obviously, Kenno surprises us again with balls of York. I'm saying it like an Englishman there, but it's actually meatballs in Cape York.
Right, so what's happening here?
I was going to see if you could mix up the meatballs for me.
There's a lot of onion here. What do you want me to do with the onion?
I need them cut in half, and I need like little cups, not little cups, big cups. They're going to go around
Get the guts
meatballs.
out of them.
Get the guts out of them. We use the outer shells.
He's a funny little fella. He got us working. And if you watch the video, you can see exactly what that, and go back on up previous videos, and you see he's got this little pattern. All right, fellas, I'm going to tell you what to do. I don't want you to get the mincing mix all up there, big fella. I want you to cut the onions up and take its layers out. Just cut them in half and then peel them like that. And then big fella's doing these onions and chopping them up and getting a bit out of. I'm on the other side doing the mince, carrying on like this here. And the spot in the middle went quiet. He sets us up with a job and walk away on us.
Yes, now we're talking meatballs.
When did this recipe come to you? In a dream? Or?
In a dream, yeah. I was I was lying there, I woke up and I went, I just dreamt about balls of York. I could go some of them.
Look, I reckon he spends a month just researching and lying in bed and watching cooking shows.
Good job on the onions, boys.
It took us a bit, we worked out,
And on the mixture.
worked out how to do it.
All right.
We could be a chameleon.
Next step, I'll grab the camembert out of the National.
The what?
Camembert.
Camembert cheese. Oh, this is getting interesting. We got meat, onions, now camembert.
Camembert cheese. This is going to go inside the meatball. Right? You see where I'm going yet?
No.
So what we're going to do is you make the meatball in your hand,
So there should be camembert balls.
and then you flatten it on your hand, and then you put put a chunk of this in the middle,
You better count them.
and then chives. You might need to make it a bit bigger than that. Chives. Yep. And then whack some more meat on there, and then grab a few onion cups, we'll call them,
Doodads.
and then wrap it in the onion cup.
So you can't make it too big.
No, you don't need to make it the size of the onion cup. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you didn't tell.
Look at that. That's Perth.
Oh, there you go. Now what?
Put another cup on the other end.
If you want to keep cutting the cheese, Gleno. The meatballs had eggs in it, French onion soup mix, whacked the cups on the outside of the meatballs, and then wrapped them in prosciutto. All right, that fella's prosciutto wrapped. He's like a cricket ball. Spray cook. Prosciutto wrapped cricket ball of York. Boom, that fella's ready for the camp oven. And repeat. We made heaps of them because we were starving and just threw them in the camp oven for about an hour and 15, I reckon. And they were perfect. Use a nice fatty mince just to keep that everything moist. The onion caramelizes and the prosciutto crisps up and the camembert cheese gets all soft in the middle. I'm salivating right now thinking about it. Oh, stop it. Look at the cheese in the middle, it's all melted.
You rolled those balls beautifully.
Oh, yeah, good ball roller, I am.
All right, we need plates. Traditional old bolognese sauce. 3 of those straight into a pot. Big handful of chili powder into the pot. Mixed it all up, just to pour on top.
Everybody was really hungry that night. It was just been such a big day. We were just worn out and we just needed a big feed. And there was a lot of sweating happening that night too. Oh, she got a bit of bite about her.
Bit of chili.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice, mate.
You like
That is nice.
Oh, there is a bite.
Oh, there's a bite. Oh, whooshka.
I think I saw Gleno eat about 4 of them. And they were the size of a cricket ball. That's a decent feed.
Forget your expensive shrinks. A sunrise like this is the best therapy you could ask for. Just absolutely mesmerising.
I've always wanted to do this, mate. Go out and find a ditch tree.
Main thing is just to find a good straight one. You only need one that's about 5 foot, 6 foot long.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for you know the size that you want. I mean, it depends on the mouthpiece as well.
Well, this is something I've always wanted to do. Like I play didge. I've got a couple at home. They're all from Byron Bay area. But yeah, to go out and actually get one myself, it's been a dream of mine.
Oh, good. What we're looking for are these sort of branches here, but a little bit thicker.
But I've always wanted to do it from scratch. Go out, find the tree, cut it down. You got to burn out the inside and scrape all the bark off, and it's a bit of work in it.
Ants nest, white ants around the bottom of it. See, because you know they're eating up on the inside.
Yep.
That's a good place to look, because they do all the work, those whiteouts.
I can't believe Gleno's still in bed.
Yeah, let him go.
He's having a sleep in. We're out on the hunt, the ditch hunt. Oh, that one with all the... Yeah.
That one over there. We're going to have a look at that one for a start.
All right.
And see how we go from there.
Kenno's one of those blokes that just love things around him. If you don't understand about it, he'll make it his point to work it out, but he won't let it go.
We're not having much luck finding a hollow one, mate.
Which is good in one way, but bad in another, because you just want to go in there and grab it. Yeah, well, yeah, take it on and then go home. But this is not Bunnings.
No.
All right, cut him down, you might get a good size out of him.
I think we found one that had about 6 inches of hollowness in it.
There you go. 6 inches. That's how hard it is to find a ditch. I mean, it's just, you know, this is like...
Hang on. Works good.
But we found the trees, but we knocked down about 3 and nothing. Hard as.
See, I thought this would be easier.
We just couldn't find it, but it was good being out there looking for it. We've still got plenty of time. I'll find him a ditch somewhere along the line.
Johnny, wonderful guy, came down that morning. We all met him, we got on like a house on fire, and he was just so excited to show us what he had.
Welcome to my camp, brother.
Thanks for coming to see us.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful spot here, mate. I can see why you spend a bit of time here.
Yeah.
Quick, tell us about this place here.
This is the Mossman River system here. A couple of tributaries coming down in off it. And just down the way a little bit, there's a beautiful gallery of some rock art there. And about 450 pieces of artwork down there in the gallery.
450?
Big, long sandstone, canvas.
Yeah.
And the shelters are formed by block collapse. And so Murray's come up here and had camp up here, for a long part of the season,
And your history, your connection to this country?
My great-grandmother, her Aboriginal name was Raluan, and so she's from just south of the Palmer, and but this was all our country up this way. My great-great-grandmother and my great-grandmother from this area. So this all Kukuyalanji, Kukumini country, a lot of other tribes around as well. We travelled and traded between the two mobs and all the different tribes, and so there's a lot of similarities between all the rock art around the Laura region, the Laura sandstone region.
Well, we'd have to get into it, mate.
Yeah, let's go and have a look.
Let's get out of the sun and we'll go down.
Thanks for letting me stay here for a week, Johnny, too. Appreciate that.
Stay as long as you want, brother.
Look, the business that Johnny has started, it's different because it's not accessible to everybody. You have to have a four-wheel drive. You got to be prepared to do quite a few kilometres on the old coach road to actually get to this escarpment, this area that Johnny shows.
You guys know I'm not one for walking, but travelling a couple of kilometres on foot through country like this gives you the time to appreciate how immense it is. This is ancient land, and somehow, I can't really explain how, but you can really feel it.
You definitely see a sense of pride in having us there and being able to share something with us.
Do you get a bit of a buzz every time you come down here?
Oh yeah, bro, it's a special place, this one.
Spiritual?
This is a secular site. This is where everyone lived. But it is spiritual because Aboriginal art is religious.
We go along the escarpment, walk down this little goat track.
here we are.
Wow, have a look at this. Unreal.
Well, welcome to Magnificent Gallery.
Oh, it certainly is magnificent. Wow.
When you come through those shrubs and you look at the rock art along there, and Johnny explains to you the history and how old these paintings really are and how authentic they are, and you can just know that it's so true because this place is so tucked away. You would never ever find it if you didn't have Johnny. So what age are these dating back to, Johnny?
Archaeologists have said that this artwork here at Magnificent is 12,000 to 9,000 BC, and up until 1875, 1,200 years before that. So 2 artistic phases of artwork here.
To be there with Johnny and Ernie, who have that traditional background, and being so close to it, like there's no guardrails, there's no boardwalks, it's just pure natural surroundings and history.
This is an unbelievable area. Just blowing me away.
But you don't get that feeling that we're in a wrong place.
No.
There's no negatives, bad vibes about it at all.
That's how we feel too. Yeah, when we come here, we feel at home, you know? Yeah, we feel at peace.
Johnny, I want to thank you very much for bringing us to this special place.
No worries, mate.
Yeah,
I feel
appreciate
very privileged.
Yeah, it's
Let's
my
have
pleasure.
a bit more of a look around, eh?
Yeah,
Very
no worries.
privileged.
Thank you, Uncle.
Yeah, no, it's my brother.
Thank you, Uncle.
Yeah, no worries.
Deterioration is not a problem because it's in a wonderful, well-protected area. And for the thousands of years they've been there, it was only painted last week by the looks of it.
The passion, look, these guys that run these places, like Johnny, are so passionate. They do it because they want to spread the word. They want to build a bridge and share what they have with everybody else. So if you contact Johnny from Jerramali, that's your only way in there. He's your passport to go and see this wonderful place.
It was great to get out in my Hilux and test it a bit. I've perched myself up on a rock straight away. Back to the old days, go out full driving and run the Lux through a few hills and stuff. Wowza. There was a saying in the election in America, let's make America good again, right? Well, if you were having an election in Australia and you had to say, let's make Australia good again, there's no need for that. Australia's already good. It's a beautiful place. Everyone who lives here should get out there and explore like we have. Go and see those caves. Go and see that Aboriginal rock art. See the history. It's such a beautiful place, such a big place. I'd like to travel overseas, but I still have so much to do here, and I've already done so much. And I keep getting blown away each and every time I go to a new place. An experience like that, you're not going to get in any other country. You're going to get that in Australia. We don't need to make Australia good again. Australia's always been good.
This one was particularly inspiring to me. I love Cape York. I've been here many, many times, but when you talk about Cape York, it doesn't, to me, it's not about going to the tip. There's so much history in that whole peninsula. And starting off at Chillago and staying off the blacktop, around the back to Maytown, then up the old coach road, selecting low range for 2 days. You know, it doesn't matter how slow you go, but if you get there in the end and your vehicle isn't top notch, everyone's headspaces are great, you've had great views along the way, you've had some fantastic driving, some fantastic campsites, some fantastic food, we've just done a mind-blowing episode.
We were coming up to rocks on those step-ups. That was a foot to 18 inches, but the road kept going up. So what do? Normally, I wouldn't do that. Bugger that. And the big fella says, right, Ernie, you got to do it. And so like, my fears just disappeared in the big fella's voice. Got the little fella behind me and said, back up. Mate, I was still going to siphon in the next couple of weeks to see how much enjoyment there was in that run. Lots of reason. The road was beautiful. The tracks were hard and gnarly, as I was picked up a new word. There was so much wonderful moments through the whole of the trip. These little gems. If that road was a diamond mine, the diamond pieces that we found and all that dirt were very rich, man. It was awesome.
Jesus. I just nearly rolled it.
What does a cockroach eat? Scraps.
Bat guano. Bat shit.
Yes.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
And my town should be my not town.
Ernie.
You go, take it out.
Thank you, Uncle Ernie. Oh, look, they stuffed this one up. Steering wheel's on the wrong side.
That's racist.
I know.
Call them white ants. Why
Put it
can't
this
we just call them ants?
You're welcome. There's red-tailed black cockatoos.
Oh, I worry about you blokes sometimes, I'll tell you.
It's like we're out here trying to be natural, and you got some bloke just going, can you
Oh, shimmy.
It's a really big rock. I found it. Good rock, that one. That's called Kenno Rock.
Does anybody want to sponsor a booster seat for a kid?
Wolfie, get out of it. Get out of the chips, Wolfie. Let's go and see if we can find some more bushfires.
reckon?
No, I'd rather not.
All right, facing up. Get your wrists, come on, get your wrists going, get your wrists and your hands going. Take it down to your body. Shake your ass out, wiggle it all out, the hands and your legs, get it all going there. And shake it, that's it. So is that fair enough? You ready to go now?
Yeah.
No. You want to wear my hat?
Oh, we should
It's pretty cool.
Holy shit, no, I'll probably skewer myself with
You
that.
look good on you. Look, it says Australia.
Really?
Yeah. And wear it?
Nah.
Go on.
I'll leave that out.
Go on.
No, it's blooming silly looking thing.
Such a good hat.
Next time on Low Range, we're in Llama Llama country. Cape York transforms into an African savanna. Just one of the many phases of this untouched wilderness. We take a rough track out to the coast to discover one of our favourite campsites to date, waterholes, salt lakes, car troubles and fishing attempts.
Can you catch fish, not trees?
It's the usual plus heaps more next time round.